What's up, everybody? How you doing? It's Professor Broman or Broman. It's Ask Broman. It's episode 9. We finally made it. It's unbelievable. It is Friday, guys. It is Friday, November 11th. Or no, not 11th, 17th, because those numbers always look the same to me, which is just always a weird thing. If you're new and you don't know what this is, hi, I'm Broman. I'm a Twitch broadcaster, a YouTuber. I help run a big gaming charity event. I also own a coffee company. I do a lot of stuff. And this is a Q&A show about whatever the hell people who want to talk to me want to talk about. Whether it's content creation or running a business or any of the things that they do, I am here to help because I love all of you and I want your lives to be better. And I want to do anything that I can to make them better for you. So without further ado, let's get to the first questions. This person's name is Ninja with a whole bunch of adjectives in front of it or whatever consonants that I do not understand or dare to read. So maybe they'll tell us how to say their name.
Hey, what's up, dude?
Hey, what's up, Ninja? How the fuck do I say your name?
All right, so it's Owasapi.
Owasapi?
It's
fuck that.
Yeah, don't worry about it. Just use Ninja.
That's so complicated. Does it mean something?
Yeah, I worked at a Boy Scout camp for like the last 12 years.
Oh. So it's the name of the Boy Scout camp?
Yeah, I picked it up as my gamer tag when I was like 16, and that was a cool thing to do, and I just never changed it.
Interesting. All right. Well, now I have a strong level of compassion and understanding directed towards your name. So
Sweet.
Yeah, I like it. So you do the Boy Scout stuff. Are you like a scout leader or?
Not really. I worked as summer staff for 12 summers in a row, so I finished out as like senior staff, but I don't work with any individual troops or anything like that.
I got you, man. I got you. Well, anyway, enough of me bothering you about your questions. What can I do for you?
Okay, so I have kind of a less specific to streaming and more general about digital content.
Sure, yeah. I like digital content.
I got a degree in filmmaking, which at this point basically means I got a digital cinematography degree.
Yeah.
And the kind of the field is super tight knit, right? So you got to network really well, and for the most part, a lot of it is get a day job and make stuff and have an impressive reel.
Yeah.
But so I was wondering, as a digital content creator, do you have any tips or kind of things you've learned about getting digital media out into the internet with a huge amount of noise and trying to get it to rise above some of that noise, get it to actually read to a greater number of people than just whoever might stumble across your stuff?
Yeah, okay. Well, so if you've been listening to this, like I would definitely give you the standard advice, right? Like put your stuff everywhere, make sure it's on every platform you possibly can, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, YouTube, Facebook Watch, like everywhere that you can put out content. Tailor your content and learn how to use those services for distribution, right? But I feel like you might be faced with some unique challenges. Like, are you creating the content yourself or are you just editing this for other people? Like, how do you go about putting together a reel for yourself?
So a lot of it is all my original content, kind of.
Okay, so it is original content for you. Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically I'm an independent filmmaker with no budget and at the moment nowhere to put anything. Gotcha.
Well, so all the things I just said, right?
Right.
But then you just said you had no budget, and that's tough. So, basically, you since you are in a situation where you don't have any money, you can't do any sort of ad spending, you can't drive people to look at your content, like whether it's with like Facebook ads, which are really inexpensive, but they can still get things started. Okay. There's a couple options. One, you need to start making content. You need to start doing it immediately. You need to start putting it everywhere, right? Because one of the things that you're going to have as a digital content creator or digital filmmaking or anything of that nature is, along with your really impressive reel, you need to be able to show that you understand how to create content for every medium. I think that's going to become an increasingly valuable skill over time. Like just being able to operate a camera and do editing for one form of media is probably not going to be, the best long-term outcome. Whereas if you have the capacity to take a video, right? You have a 1 hour video, you do the long form thing, you put it up on long form sites like Facebook, things like that. And then you know how to take highlights and feed them into Instagram, and then feed them into, a Snapchat story about whatever the project is that you're doing. And then you can turn around and you can take that and you can edit those things, and maybe you do the editing live on Twitch or live on Facebook or something like that. Just basically part of your reel is showing your skill set, right? I think that's it's part of it that gets ignored. Like the reel is your interview. But the interview process for digital content's changing so much. Like send me a reel, blah, blah, blah. But soon, like the way that I feel like things are going now, the amount of like, let me see your reel is going to be like decreasing over time, because if folks want to find someone who's really good at something, and if I was looking for a video editor, I would just go online. I would Google video editor YouTubes, and I would find people who are good video editors on YouTube, and I would contact the people, like the 10 people I was interested in, and I'd hire them. I would circumvent the entire traditional media process of even watching your reel. I would just be paying attention to the content that you're making. And I feel like that's the way things are trending, especially for the size of companies and that I would assume you're trying to work for right now.
Yeah. No, that makes sense.
They're young, they're small, they're agile. Like they're going to be your first clients. So that's your first thing, is to just start putting your work everywhere so folks have easy access to it. And they can kind of understand that what the fuck's going on. Okay. And then the second thing is, if you're trying to get work after you've started this, just DM people constantly. Like incessantly. Okay. Because, and I know that's the really unfun part, but it's true. Like if you're looking for editing work, like go on Instagram, go on Facebook, go wherever it is that you want to do work. Find companies that don't have any sort of production assistance, and they have nobody producing content for them, and say, hey, I'd like to do stuff for you. Would you mind if I did something for you, I don't know, for free really quick? Obviously you need to do your research and be like, see if this is the kind of company you'd want to work for, or if they have products that you would represent. But, you might have people bite on that. It might not be a lot, but that'll give you a chance to start working on like a real practical sense, like understanding how that works. And you know what? Like you might contact 100 people, you might get 10 people back that you might do stuff for, and then one person might hire you. But starting from zero, like it just takes 10 of those people that are willing to hire you, and now you have a full-time job doing what you love.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense.
Yeah.
Actually, I hadn't thought about just like kind of use you as an example, just being like, hey, bro, man, here's like your 10 run-throughs. I did a quick edit on some of them. Can you tell me what you think? If you like, I can continue doing some of these for you, that kind of thing. Yeah,
like if you, I'll get real selfish right now. Like if you went through all of my Ask Broman videos and you pulled highlights for me or something like that, if you're like, hey, Broman, like I noticed like these are my favorite 60-second clips from each of your things, and you edit them together and you made them look real crispy, that would 100% get my attention.
Okay.
Because that is something right now, like I am looking for that, but I don't have time to sift through or like go out and like make a call to action for that, other than casually talking about it on my stream every once in a while, and then very directly with you. You're right. And say like, this is what I need, people are putting their needs out there all the time. You just have to be there to pay attention and then deliver that need when they think no one's paying attention. Like that is a huge win. If you follow a company and they're tweeting like, stuff like blah, 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 here we go. Like, man, like we're, they're commenting like these people have really slick graphics. These people have really good. They are literally advertising to the whole universe, right? We don't have anyone making content for us. So if you see that and you show up and you're like, hey, I did some stuff for you, they'll go, oh shit, this guy literally like he got in front of us. We didn't even have to ask. And he's standing here with a reel of stuff that he made for us with our product. And now it's just so easy to hire you because you've provided so much upfront to this company that you are just an easy yes. Now, it's not a guarantee that that's what's going to happen, but you see how that setup works way better than just, cold forwarding your reel to 1,000 people on an email list.
Right. That's definitely what I've been doing too. So
you've been doing what, the email list?
Yeah, I've been doing like, let's go on Indeed and troll for entry level production jobs. And
yep, I've been there before. Yeah.
Yeah. So my one concern with that has been, the thing that's been stopping me from doing it has been kind of like contacting somebody and be like, hey, I ripped a bunch of your shit off of YouTube and made a thing with it. Hope you're okay that I did that. So essentially, it sounds like what you're saying is ignore that. They'll be more grateful that you showed the initiative for it than
I don't think if you're not
took their stuff.
I can't think of a content creator on earth that would get a reel of their own stuff directly from an editor and that just said, hey, I made this for you. And it's not on your personal YouTube page. You're not advertising it. You're not trying to make money by repackaging my content. You are literally just taking my content and giving me something out of it that's valuable. I'm never going to get mad at that. So like, if you're scared about like reactions or overreactions from somebody, because there are legitimate horror stories from people who have tried to do content editing and they've done something for someone and then they upload it because they're trying to get their name out there, but they didn't contact the original person. I'm telling you to not do that. Like, don't try and get your name out there by piggybacking. Just go straight to the person who's in charge with the content that you have, because that's how you get shit done. You're setting yourself up for a positive interaction with that person by saying, hey, I love you. This is how much I love you. I took all your stuff. I edited it. Here's a montage that I did. They're going to go, oh, fuck yeah. But if you take that montage and you put it up on your channel, hey, I made a montage for you. It's on my YouTube channel. That looks shitty. Do you understand the differentiation there?
Yeah, absolutely. One is I took your stuff and made my own thing, and here it is if you want to look at it. The other is here's some of your stuff. If you're interested, I could send this to you.
Yeah, exactly. Send it, and no strings attached. Like, they may not even get back to you. They might not see the email. Like, they might take it and use it and never, just take it and use it. Like, that's obviously a possibility. And I know that there's people who are listening or watching right now that are thinking that, but that's just sort of like tough shit. This is the cost of starting from zero, since you don't really have anything. Like, all you have is your hard work, your time, and your effort. And you have to be willing to give that to people for free with no expectations up front, in order to build the relationship that turns into, that turns into what amounts to 10% of your total business or whatever. That's what gets you the job that you want.
Right. That makes total sense to me.
Yeah, man. Is there anything else I can do for you if you feel like that was a sufficient answer? If you got follow-ups, I'm all about follow-ups.
So I have one, just because you'd be the second streamer I asked about this, and I just wanted to. I'm trying to develop a baseline. So as an independent filmmaker, one of the things I want to do is make a documentary kind of about the changing landscape of gamers, and kind of I don't know if I'd focus directly on this, but kind of tackle some of the issues with toxicity, kind of like, as much as I may agree with the argument, what Reddit's doing with EA right now is kind of like the weird side of witch hunt, sort of. I happen to agree with the viewpoint, so I'm hard to get objective on it. So as far as contacting streamers, content creators, people who are in that kind of gaming space, is there a decent way to get a hold of those people? Because a lot of times they're fairly public. They don't really publish an email address, or if they, some of them may have this email address, some of them may just have just like a Twitter or a stream to contact on.
You use what is available. I'll tell you, as far as like gaming documentaries, I've been approached by 5 this past year. 4 of them never followed up when I said, that sounds interesting. And one guy dramatically over asked. And so and I came back to this guy and I was like, listen, this is too much. Like, I don't have 8 hours to answer these questions for you. Can you give me the one thing that you want me to talk about? I can give you 15 minutes. And then he came back with a set of 5 questions, not the one question that I asked for, which would have still taken 2 hours of my time. And I, again, messaged him back and I said, listen, I need one question. What is the one thing you want me to analyze for you for your documentary? And then he just never got back to me. So like there is definitely you definitely have to follow up, but you also have to realize that like when you're making your ask for someone else's time, especially if you're asking for their time, like that interaction I had with that guy was I was just trying to be really generous, like, and kind and guide him into giving me something I could actually do for him.
Right.
I don't know of anyone else in this space that would do that.
Right. So kind of.
So yeah, like literally, if you're doing a documentary, you find the one, and you want to ask question A, you find the one person you want to answer that question. You send them that hey, I'm doing a documentary. This is my question. Would you mind doing a short video response for me? In front of your green screen, or just an audio response if that's too hard for you. And I would love to include you in my documentary. If I got that email from anyone, I would probably get that done for them inside of a month.
Right.
Because that is easy for me to do. Like I can just, shut my stream off and then I boot my stuff up and I answer the question and I send it to them.
Right. So smaller scale, something that can be done in a short amount of time. So I'm not asking them to sacrifice their own production time for mine.
Yeah, I mean, you are like, that's what you're doing. You are asking them to sacrifice their production time. You are 100% playing on someone's goodwill and their chance to do yes, but you need to be comfortable with doing that, right? There's nothing wrong with that. That's how the whole world works. It's all like a bartering system on time. And if someone believes in your project, they're going to be more than happy to give you 10 minutes of their time. But they're probably not going to be happy to give you 8 hours of their time.
Right. Okay.
Without a pre-existing relationship. Yeah. Gotcha. I'm not going to bullshit you and be like, oh no, yeah, no, but like if it's a tiny amount of time, it doesn't matter. Like for broadcasters and for a lot of people in the gaming space, there's just not enough time in the day to do all the things that are necessary to do. But you don't need to be afraid of that. You should use that as a value driver for your question or your documentary. Know that you are asking someone to give up time they could be spending on generating personal income, and you're asking them to help generate, income and value for you. Like that is what you're asking. So you better make sure that your question is damn good and your presentation is damn good. Like it shouldn't scare you. It should motivate you, if that makes sense. It should guide your thought process.
Right. Gotcha.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So no, this is a really good question. Like I really appreciate the question that you're asking. This has been a great conversation.
Yeah, absolutely. I really appreciate the feedback because definitely as far as like getting my shit out there, I didn't even think about doing that. And now that's something because the job market being what it is, I spend most of my time sitting on my ass trying to find a job. And now I can basically just get up and give myself a job and
be
maybe
proactive.
Something comes of that.
Like that hustle is going to help you more long term. And if you're doing video production, everybody in that space is an independent contractor. Like so few people actually work for production houses, at least the folks that I know. They just do ad hoc work that they cobble together themselves. And ultimately that allows you more freedom over your schedule and more enriching projects for you, like long term. So, that's my personal bias in there, but I think it works out really well for you long term. I love being my own boss. I couldn't imagine working for anyone else, especially in a creative field,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I appreciate the feedback, man.
Anytime, dude. Tell these people where they can find you on the internet so they can start following you now if you've piqued anyone's interest.
Right. My YouTube, there's not really much up there. I don't do much with my YouTube right now, so I'll have to revamp that and get that back on its feet. But I have a Vimeo channel. It's under my actual name, not my ridiculous to pronounce online name.
I gotcha.
So the on Vimeo, I'm Joe Saner. So just Joe like you would, and then Sener.
Okay.
So it's probably where a lot of my content is going to end up just before I can get a foothold to the YouTube space.
Yeah, exactly. Don't forget about the other platforms too. Being able to repackage is huge.
Right.
Especially for big companies and folks who do what I do and personal brands and things like that. Like it'll go farther than you think. You know,
Right.
if one at like, and I know, like, I know, your question's so good and it's so unique to what we've all gotten. Like literally one big YouTuber could look at what you do, love it, and hire you for $100,000 a year to do all of their editing. Like that's like, if you can do it all, like that is the amount of money that is on the line for you. And that's just one client. And like, that might be a full-time job, but you know, if you walked up to me and I'm making, like, let's say I'm making $3 million a year on YouTube, and you're like, hey, I would manage all of your personal brand content creation. You would just do your main video on YouTube and I would repopulate it in all these other places because I know how to do that. Here's my proof. I would push everyone out of the way to hire you. Yeah. And with the way entertainment is trending, I think people who grab that job are going to become more and more common. And I'd love to see you get a job like that.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. So yeah, so I guess the Vimeo is the best link for right now, but if anybody's paying attention out there, then it would be look for an update, and I'll like right now I think I've got a professional Facebook that I've made like my personal one unsearchable, but other than that, it's I don't really have much of anything else set up for myself professionally, so I'll have to do
this
that.
Is good. You're getting it all started. You can get everything aligned. You can get the right name on everything, like the right branding. You're in a really good spot, man.
Yeah.
I'm excited for you.
Awesome.
You got a lot of work ahead of you, but I'm excited for you.
No,
you have
absolutely.
a good day, dude.
Yeah, thanks. You too, dude.
You're the best. See you later.
All right. Deuces.
Dude, that was awesome. Oh my gosh. Awasepi Ninja. It was how I think you say that. You know, there is so much, you know, we like a lot of the stuff that we've focused on so far on Ask Broman has been really content creating, like from the creators. But like, as you, I guess, ascend the ranks of content creation, you begin to acquire the need to have a support structure. And if you are good at editing videos and you can take over somebody's like social media platform, like it is such a valuable skill. And there are it's just not like, maybe I'm not looking, but it is going to become more and more prevalent. That if you have the ability to edit and re-edit and package everything so that it can fit on every social media platform and still be impactful, like that skill set is going to be like in the next, you know, decade, 20 years, like that is going to be an invaluable skill set for any editor. And it will probably lead to really gainful employment for anyone who's interested. Because, it's coming like a freight train, man. It's a need that I have currently, and I can't pay someone for it, and I don't want to hire an intern yet because I don't like, I want to make sure I know how the sausage is made. So after I feel like I have mastery over that stuff, maybe I'd hire some folks to help out. But it's, you know, it's an ever growing space, and editors are absolutely, I agree, a game changer. So that was an awesome first question. I told you, the universe, guys, if you're listening on to this later, we had just the biggest shit show of a day trying to get Ask Broman together today. And I just fucking knew, like, we needed to do it because something was trying to stop us. But we're here now and it's going great. Okay. Trying to see if there's anyone else who's been really bugging me or getting at me on Twitter right now we could talk to. This guy. He's been all over it for the past couple of days. Hello, I think this is the Alpha Gecko. Ew, the universe. Hey, Alpha Gecko, what's up?
Hi, how are you?
I am absolutely wonderful. Let me adjust you real quick.
Sorry about that.
No, don't apologize. you have what you have. I am here to serve. What can I do for you, man?
If it's okay with you, can I introduce myself first?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so my name is Ethan. I am in grade 11. I currently live in Canada,
Sure.
and I'm a nerd through and through. I love playing video games. Destiny has been my favorite FPS as of like the release of Destiny 1.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's just a little bit about me.
Yeah, cool.
So I have two questions for you, if that's okay.
Yeah, yeah, whatever you want, man. I'm here.
So the first question is about love.
Ooh, okay. Yeah. All right, let's go.
So the first question is, so basically, I like this girl and she's like super popular and pretty, and I'm just like, what the heck am I supposed to do? Because I told her that I like her a few years ago,
Sure.
and like we were friends before that, but pretty much as soon as I told her that, we stopped talking completely, and I
Ooh,
really want to
rough.
change that and have no idea how.
Okay. Okay.
So is there any advice that you could
Any
give me on
advice?
that?
I mean, okay, so you made your feelings known and then you got iced out, or maybe you got awkwarded out, okay? Like maybe everyone
Both.
maybe people just got uncomfortable, okay?
Mhm.
If I was in your situation, and this is this is I am romantic after I'm in a relationship, but up front I'm very business. So if I was in your situation, I'd do what I did with when I met Amy and when I met my other girlfriends. Was I was just incredibly direct, and I was like, "You're awesome. I think you're beautiful. We should go on a date." That's it. And you'll know, they'll look at you, that you'll know immediately. You're awesome. I think you're beautiful. Let's go on a date. What? Yeah, let's go on a date. Me, you, pizza, whatever. Let's go on a date. Like, just be upfront. I literally told one of the girls I dated, every time I try and get around you, you kind of ice me out. It's kind of like talking to a brick wall, but I think you're amazing and you're beautiful. So let's go on a date. And I dated that girl for 8 years. So, like, it works. That relationship ended badly, but that's what I would recommend. Since she already knows how you feel, you just need to, I don't know, double down on it. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, then yeah, shrug.
And there's bigger
Time for
fish in the
someone else.
sea.
There's other fish in the sea.
Thank you.
I mean, it's real. It's just business. It's like you need to be able to move forward with your life because you're going to be investing all of this emotional time and energy in trying to read the tea leaves and trying to understand how someone else is thinking. And there's no fucking way in the universe that you can do that. You have to just ask.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So there's my
you.
there's my advice. That might not be what you were expecting, but there you go.
Actually, no, that helps a lot because I'm super like shy around her. Like literally, as soon as she walks in the room, I'm like hella self-conscious, and
Yeah,
then I
dude.
just freeze.
Yeah, it's time to just talk. Get it out of your system. Get the question out there. Quit living in a world of ifs and live in a world of knowing.
Thank you. Okay, so my second question is about religion.
Okay. Well, we'll see if I can answer this question.
So something I didn't say when I introduced myself is I call myself a Christian.
Okay.
So I worded that in a way that most other people from like Christianity wouldn't. I call myself a Christian. I didn't say that I am a Christian because I don't, like right now, I don't necessarily have my own faith. And I'm just wondering what what have been your like experiences with people who have religions, just like any religion at all, and like have you had any brief periods of time with religion?
We don't really talk about religion here too much, but I will tell you this about any belief structure or worldview that you have. Okay. I've been around the world a lot. I've met a lot of different people who believe a lot of different things, and I can tell you something that is more true than anything else I have experienced in my life. Okay. Everyone is a person, regardless of what they believe. Everyone has, everyone wakes up, everybody shits, everyone is happy, everyone is sad, they get angry, they make mistakes. And it doesn't matter what they believe. You know, they could believe the same thing as you or something different as you. So my experience with religion or worldview is that it's an important way it's an important way for you to understand how someone else might think, but it should in no way ever affect the way that you think about them.
I agree with that, honestly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Anytime, man. Thank you very much for asking your question. Now go ask that girl out.
I'll try.
You'd better do it.
Thank you.
All right. I love you, dude. Have a good
great
one.
Day. You too.
Bye. Woo! Some heavy questions, man. Some heavy questions. Yeah, he better ask that girl out, or I'm gonna be real sad. All right. I'm gonna get Katak in here. I'm gonna get Katak in here. Because he was in there troubleshooting with me in that other server, so I feel like I owe him some time. Hey, Katak, what's up?
Hello, good sir. Can you actually hear me this time?
I can actually fucking hear you this time, bud. What's up?
Here we go. Doing good, sir. Doing good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Well, you know, I mean, it was rough getting it started, you know, but hey, we're here. Good things are happening. So
good things all around. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah. So what can I do for you, sir? Kind sir.
All right. So yes, I recently just got partnership on the Mixer platform.
On Mixer. Okay, cool.
Yes,
on
Mixer.
You told me about this in chat a week ago, 2 weeks ago?
I think it was the beginning of this week.
Okay,
yes,
sweet.
right around that time.
That's how time compression works in my brain. Sounds about right.
Yeah,
what can I do for you?
Completely understand. My question, like, I have at the point where my sub button hasn't even gone live yet.
Sure.
My biggest question that I have right now is that's been racking in my mind for a few days now. If someone were to come to you and ask you when you first got partnered on Twitch, what would they have? What would have been a good warning system, or what would have been good to have been told up front in the beginning instead of you learning on your own?
About what kind of questions?
And it's anything in big, like in general, marketing, community based.
Oh, okay. So what do I wish someone would have told me when I was started? Like what would have accelerated my growth? This is gonna sound really self-aggrandizing, but I'll say it and then I'm gonna come back and tell you why. If someone would have just walked up to me, and I guess we sort of had this experience a couple episodes ago with another Mixer partner, actually, named That Pie Guy, I would have wanted someone to come back and tell me that you're doing it right. There were a lot of systems and a lot of ways that I approached my stream when I was starting that I didn't see a lot of other folks doing, and I was really, really scared that I was fucking it up, and I wasn't. So, the things that I was the most afraid of was, one, I refused to monetize my channel until Twitch gave me partnership. Now at the time, you know, it was just like, well, what are you talking about? Like, you just put up you put up a tip link, like, so people can tip you because they like your channel. And I said no. I said, like, that's no. If you want to tip me, tell 5 friends about my channel. And I was really worried that was going to come back and bite me in the ass, because I was sitting here and I was just making all this content and I'm seeing other people on Twitch and they're making money and I'm not making any money. And am I screwing it up? But I wasn't. I didn't. What I was doing is actually a very common business practice now, which is providing value first. I was showing every single person who watched my channel that I was about community, I was about communication, I was about having a good time before I was about money. And so monetization is an optional part of the experience on my channel. You can get the entire experience of my channel without ever paying a dime, and it's been that way since day one. The other thing that I did right was I invested a shit ton of time. So those were the two things that I was super worried about at the beginning, right? I was worried that I was just not monetizing and I should have been, and then I was worried that I was putting in too much time. So for me, those were things that I was doing, but those are the things that I would recommend for you to do. Don't try to make a quick buck with content creation. Like it's a one-way ticket to becoming irrelevant or limiting yourself. Like it might be really great. It might go good for you. If you monetize your content early, you might still make off great. Like you could still make it to the ranks of people who make a really nice living wage, like $50,000 a year making content, streaming video games on the internet. And that's awesome. But if you hold off and you focus on providing value to people, instead of making $50,000 a year, you could make $500,000 a year or $2 million a year. Like you have no idea. But the second you start going in with the hard asks, you're starting to put limits on on the ability that you have to monetize. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so it comes down to like if you get to a certain point, it's almost like a one-trick pony situation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like
Okay.
and that's like it's very important that monetization, especially monetization on any content creating like formula, stays fluid. Like that's just the way that I think. Like I don't ever want to have one way that I completely depend on monetizing anything. Variety is important because if you always have a variety and then there's a new system that gets introduced, and this is a lesson that I learned when Bits came out. I fucking raged on Bits. Bits are shit. They're garbage. I hate Twitch. They're taking money, blah, blah, blah. And like, whatever. Okay. I was a holdout. I was a dinosaur about Bits. But if I would have been adaptive and said, oh, Bits are cool. Like, let's see how Bits work out. Cause now they've worked out just great. Right. Like it's a really fun thing on Twitch. It's neat. You can earn them for free. But if I would have been accepting instead of pragmatic, that form of monetization would have done better on my channel. So just keep it fluid and be patient. If that makes sense. So that's monetization. And the second thing is like time input. Know that I wish someone would have told me that every single hour that I put in creating content was worth it. Because some days felt worthless because I was staring at the wrong shit. I was staring at my viewer count or my follower count or my sub count, and I was letting that dictate whether or not I felt like the day was successful. And this is a lesson that I have been learning for a very, very, very long time. And I just sort of feel like I've maybe graduated from the first class of it. But realizing that your growth as a content creator and the quality of the content that you create is not dependent on the growth of the numbers that surround your channel, but it's in the personal growth that you have and you recognize as the quality of your content goes up. What do you think about that? Does that make sense? Oh no, did we lose him? I think we might have lost Mr. Katak, which would make me really sad because he still needs to shout out all of his business. I will continue talking about a third point since we are waiting for him to reconnect. Since we are waiting for him to maybe reconnect on Discord. The third thing that I think is incredibly important when you are doing any content creation, or what I wish people had told me up front was, and it sort of goes hand in hand with the last thing that I said, is I really wish that someone had come in and told me to never ever compare the content that I am creating with content that other people are creating, because when you do that, you can get into a situation where you're looking at someone who's 5 years ahead of you and you're like, why is my shit not that good? Or you're looking at someone who is your peer who might eventually supersede you, who might be the only one that is growing outside of the space that you were in originally when you were peers, and you're just gonna be like, oh well, cool, none of the fucking stuff that I am doing is working. And so you end up imitating instead of creating, and that can be a huge pitfall. So apparently the audio situation has returned, but that's fine because we got a pretty solid episode. So what I'm going to ask Katak to do, since he is in my chat room right now, is to type in my chat room everywhere that he is available online, and then I will read that out to you with my beautiful voice, and you will all go follow that wonderful guy because he's a good guy. Technical problems happen, but we made the episode. We made it happen because it is important to reach out and give back to people. That is the number one most important thing in my life. And I am grateful. I am grateful for everyone who tunes in and gives some time every single day to listen to this, even when we have technical issues. But hey, what is life without a couple of issues? You know what I'm saying? So Katak is while we're waiting for him to post his information in my chat room, I just wanted to give a quick shout out and thank you to everyone who has been listening, sharing, and following the podcast on all the platforms. I woke up today and I saw it actually ranked in some podcast platforms, which is nuts. I really do appreciate it. And the more that you share, the more people we can get out there and reach, and the more we can elevate the content creation platforms that we all use each and every day. So sincerely, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. So Katak's info is you can see him at mixer.com/KatakIG. That's CATTCKIG. And his Twitter is KatakMDS. Oh man, MDSL.com. Is this correct? His Twitter is at Katak, CATTCKMDSL, which is, of course, how I'm sure that it works. So, thanks for listening, everybody out there on the internet. I appreciate you. Make sure you leave a review. Let everybody else know what's going on. And I will catch you next time on Ask Broman. We will probably be recording our next episode on Sunday, November, I want to say 19th, if I can do math. So I will catch you guys then. Peace.